How is the weight transition being done? Let's check out the braking drift.
The three important things here are when to steer in, when to shift down, and how long you keep braking. These are the three most important factors. Okay, I'm in third gear, I'm stepping on it, I'm speeding, then brake. How much you brake is crucial. If you kill the speed too much, you'll end up stopping before you drift like this, and with understeer. So you'll need a fair amount of speed even when you begin braking. Slow down to about 70% on the straightaway, then let go. Let go of the brake and steer into the corner. Here, you're a little overspeeding. If you brake through the corner, you'll end up with understeer. So first brake and then turn, heel and toe and steer in towards the clipping point. You'll be overspeeding here as well. Then you shift down to second gear while leaving your foot on the brake. Let's say you're running around 5,500 revs when you shift down to second gear. Release the clutch like you're running around 5,400 revs, but don't let the gears lock. It's similar to shift lock drifting, but you don't lock the rear tires with braking drift. Anyhow, that's how I do it. Sometimes I drift by only braking, like through corners where I can enter and exit in second gear. I step on the brakes, leave the brakes on, then turn, and I brake once again towards the clipping point. Then the car starts to slide. With this kind of drifting, I concentrate on the front and rear brake balance. If only the front brakes work and the rear don't, it's impossible to brake drift. You can't control the shifting weight of the car if only the front brakes work.
Obviously, braking is the key here. Tsuchiya is not braking hard at all. He's stepping on the brake with a certain rhythm to adjust the speed. If you coordinate the steering work to the braking, you're a step closer to Tsuchiya's braking drift. Remember, the rhythm of your right foot should be brake, 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 gas. Steering into the corner and shifting down should be done simultaneously. Next up is the fake drift, where you create large weight transition by force.
When weight transition is difficult to make just by braking, you shift the weight with a feint movement. Quickly steer like this, and at this point, my foot is off the gas. And when I juke the car like this, the car bounces back with the weight, and that's when I step on the gas pedal. It's just like a pendulum, and you use that return force to make the weight transition. Here too, I've stepped on the gas, all the way for a second, before I let go, in order to get the car to slide. Once the car is in sliding mode, release the foot from the gas, and control. I used to do this a lot on snow. If you're going too slow, you have to step on the gas to make it happen. But if you're going fast enough, and you steer to the left and quickly steer back to the right, your tail will automatically start to slide. But you know, I wasn't that good back then, so my car would lose speed while I was doing all that. That's when I learned to give the car some gas to make the car slide, so that I can drift, even at such speeds.
Because of the inertial force from the feint action, the braking doesn't have to be as strong as the braking drift. It's all physics and dynamics, but the rhythm of the right foot is always the same.
Okay, shall we try this dynamic drifting? This one's pretty difficult, so even professional racing drivers like us can't always get it right. Drifting begins from stepping off the gas, just like the Fuji Speedway's 100R or the final corner at Tsugo. Unbelievable. That was awesome. It's so tempting to brake. Here in Ebisu, this 100R corner is a third gear corner. You step on the gas all the way in third gear. Then the difficult part is where you release your foot from the gas pedal for a second. You're coming in with enough speed in third gear. Steer into the corner, and the moment you release the gas, you start to slide. On this particular track, you need to get ready for the final corner at this point and slow down. But for now, we'll ignore that to show you guys this dynamic drifting. So when you release the gas, your tail will slide. Then you just counter steer and control. I use this a lot at the Fuji Speedway's 100R corner. I charge in without braking and just instantly let go of the gas. And when the tail starts to drift, I just counter steer and slam on the gas as I exit the corner. You do this at the final corner at Tsugo. There are some cars that can plunge into the corner without braking at all. In a Miata, you can dynamic drift at Maze, go right in at full speed, and by releasing the throttle, you can initiate the tail slide. From there, it's just counter steering and stepping on the gas again at the exit. And that's what I call dynamic drifting.
This is an example of not how he stepped off the gas, but how Tsuchiya was able to avoid crashing. His lightning-quick steering work is simply unbelievable.
So that was dynamic drifting, which is the ultimate form of all drifting. That wraps up the 6 basic techniques of drifting. I won't recommend the dynamic drifting at the early stages of learning how to drift, since it can be dangerous. With the mastering of all these 6 basic techniques, you too will be able to drift like a pro. The first thing you have to do if you want to take up drifting is not to be afraid. Try to have fun. Don't think too much about weight transition, dynamic drifting, and your suspension setup. Visit a track, go out there and start pulling the e-brake. That's the best way to learn how to drift. After you get the hang of it, try to use all 6 techniques in various corners. Take your car to as many tracks as possible and try different styles of drift. And again, be safe and have fun.